This channel is called The Blueprint. So I named this channel The Blueprint for a couple of different reasons. For one, I felt like real estate professionals, and because I put myself, I haven't been doing this for like 20, 30 years, but I felt like a lot of newer or newer-ish real estate professionals were not getting the support that they needed unless they gave up a significant share of their commission check. What I seek to do is I seek to disrupt in all things. And so with this channel, I want to help newer agents get better, get sharper, get faster, and also ensure that veteran agents and those that are somewhere, towards the end of their career are really maximizing, or as the old folks say, squeezing every bit of juice out of that orange. And so for this particular video today, I'm just laying out my complete blueprint, which is going to be an absolutely free gift for you that you are more than welcome to download in the link in the description below. I'm going to lay out exactly the blueprint that I follow from Monday all the way through Sunday that helps me continue to scale my business, maintain my business, and also not miss out on opportunities that I have not uncovered. So I'm extremely, extremely excited. I got my real hat on. If you are a real estate professional and you are thinking about making a pivot in the new year, the only plug that I'm going to talk about today is to strongly consider Real Brokerage as the destination for you as a real estate professional. I moved over from one of the well-known ones because unfortunately it just wasn't giving me what I believe I needed and what my team needed, and Real has filled in that gap. It is a more advantageous place, one of the most advantageous places to hang your license. You don't pay anything per month. So if you're paying something per month at your current brokerage, do not follow the lies that they tell you have to pay the cost to do that. There's always going to be a more advantageous position, and I'm more than happy to talk about it with you and share my story. Book a call by clicking the link below. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to jump right into this. All right. So what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is the $1 billion real estate agent playbook. This is a playbook that I shared with my team members as a way for them, because I was, running into situations where individuals really didn't know what they needed to do on a day-to-day basis to hit whatever their income goals are for the year. So if a person tells me, Marvin, I want to make $100,000 in real estate. Okay, well, if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So I created this spreadsheet, which again is absolutely free. You can download it in the description of this video below as a blueprint. And I would implore you to share this if you're a team leader or a solo agent or a boutique brokerage. If you're not given something like this to follow on a regular basis, then you will not know whether or not you are succeeding as a real estate professional. I'm just going to be completely honest. Your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor is going to keep it 100 with you, as the kids say. So this spreadsheet is broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections that I created over time. And we're going to just start with the first section. So as a real estate professional, once you download this 100% free playbook, this is going to really help you track what we call KPIs, or key performance indicators. That is just corporate speak for, if you're doing the activities that will ultimately get you to where you want to be in your career. So the way I have this particular tab laid out in the daily KPI tracker is it has it broken down by today's date, which you can plug in starting today or whenever you download this. We're going to call this week 1, and the time of day, it can be morning, it can be afternoon, whenever you have a dedicated time towards real estate. That's what this section you're going to plug in here. So what most individuals do is they indicate that the time of day is usually the morning. And then this section here breaks down how many dials you're going to make on a day-to-day basis. So my suggestion, hold on one second here. My suggestion is to aim to have 10 conversations per day with your next client or anybody that you're reaching out to. Aim to have 10 conversations. Now, dials is going to be the activity that you take that gets you to those conversations. So let's say you have a daily goal of 30 dials per day. All right. In the 30 dials, how many humans did you talk to? And this is not, I don't count this as leaving messages, but you can if it would help you track it better as far as how many messages you're leaving. But the dials here are exactly that, how many dials you're making on a day-to-day basis. If you do get engaged in a conversation, then I have this section broken down as follows. How many were interested in selling, how many were scheduled on your calendar, how many social media posts did you do for the day, and there's one more section here that I plugged in as far as how many folks are interested in buying, how many are pre-approved, and then ultimately this is going to be further along in the process of your pipeline, how many actually signed a representation agreement with you, and then once you put an offer on a home, how many accepted it, so on and so forth. And then lastly, how many added to your CRM. So this tab alone is going to keep you accountable to yourself, because the goal, in my opinion, is to make 30 dials. And you may ask, well, Marvin, where am I going to find 30 people to talk to or 30 numbers to call on a daily basis? Follow this channel. I have done plenty of videos on how to pull your own list. How many humans did you talk to? That is, even if you just have one person there, if you multiply that by 52 weeks in a year, that's going to be 52 conversations that you have. And if out of those 52 conversations, you don't get at least several deals out of it, come back to this video because we're going to have a conversation. But again, if you are interested in partnering with me here at Real, you will have more than enough tools and resources to close your first deal in your first year in real estate or your next year in real estate. All right, so that's super key. So you just plug all this information here. Now, active listings, this is the next tab here. This is where you're gonna plug in your name, when the listing is live, the address, city, the original list price here. That's what you'll plug in right there. What's the list price? And then of course, if you have to drop the price, which happens in our industry, you may start out at a certain price because that's what your seller wants to start out at. It's perfectly fine. We do what they tell us to. If they don't listen to our suggestion, it is what it is. But if you end up having to drop the price, well, you'll plug that in here. And then it has a built-in commission tracker that will show what your expected commission is going to be based on the updated list price. And then if you got that source from your Sphere, a Zillow lead, if it was a referral from another agent, you'll plug all that information here. All right, next tab that you'll go to is where you'll plug in your pending and closed transactions. So once you actually have a client where you've submitted an offer for a property or they're actively looking, you'll plug their information here, the year in question, and then this drop-down box gives you a way to break it down, whether it was a land deal or foreclosure, resale, new construction, referral to you, or referral from you. You might be a real estate agent that is currently on a referral status, meaning you're not actively selling real estate, but you still have and know individuals from your sphere that are interested in buying and selling. So if you refer that business out to another agent, here's where you can plug that information in as well, because it is still your client. If the experience was positive with that individual, you'll put yes or no. If it wasn't positive, then of course, you may be making a note to yourself that the follow-up that you're going to do with a client that the experience wasn't positive would be a little bit different than the experience working with a client where the experience was positive. And then once that property closes, land or otherwise, you'll indicate the month in question. And then here's other sections where you can put, the contract date, the estimated close date, the type, property, inspection, if an inspection was done, if an appraisal was done, if your broker has reviewed it, if that's done, and then ultimately the sales price. And then I plugged in some other sections here for company, if it was referred to another company, the split, agent split, all that jazz. Like I said, this is literally the secret sauce that I'm sharing with you all because I believe we're blessed to be a blessing. All right, so now we need to talk about how you create content on a regular basis, okay? And then I'm gonna unshare the screen here for a second and then come back to it. So I think that it's important to realize that in the world that we live in now, yes, you can pay for leads, but usually when you pay for those leads, you've spent a lot of money up front. If you utilize a service where you pay the commission and close, like Zillow Flex or one of these other type of programs, you're going to pay a significant haircut at the end of it, usually to the tune of 35 to 40%. Well, the way that I approach this real estate thing, if you're watching this video, you're watching it on the platform otherwise known as YouTube. Now, of course, I beam this to Facebook as well. But YouTube has been my #1 driver of lead generation, and I don't pay anything at all for these leads. These leads find me from my YouTube home tour videos, and it's always an amazing thing when I ask them, how did you find me? And they tell me, I saw one of your videos, and it was a video I did a year ago or 2 years ago, but because I created that piece of content, that lives in the ecosystem of YouTube, and it becomes what's called evergreen content. And so YouTube will continue to recommend that information to a potential buyer or someone that's interested in the area that I did a home tour in. So that's one video idea that you're going to want to make sure that you add to your repertoire. But in the meantime, I have a breakdown of the different types of content that you can create on a regular basis. So now you no longer have any excuses as to why you do not have your YouTube channel up and running, your social media up and running. I literally have broken it down here, giving ideas for your first week, second week, third week, and fourth week. So on the first week, for example, I have on Wednesday, explain a common real estate term. So what is escrow? What is appraisal? One of the big things when I was checking my personal analytics, one of the big drivers of traffic to my YouTube channel is the word manual underwriting. I did a video talking about manual underwriting, and apparently I have caught wind of the algorithm has caught me, and so it recommends my video content that I talked about manual underwriting to potential clients out there. So individuals find my channel because of the word manual underwriting. I've ranked for that, which is what that's known. So you can literally steal all of these ideas, tweak it to your own way that your comfort level, but don't deviate too far off the script, because this is literally a blueprint, again, hence the name of the channel, the Real Blueprint, that breaks down every single piece of content that you can create on a day-to-day basis. So what I would do is I would literally study this, and let's say for Monday, you're introducing yourself as a brand new real estate agent. Well, if you have in your city a title office or a closing attorney, those individuals will let you use their office to create content. You know why? Because they hope that when you do have a deal and you do have a closing coming up, that you will use that closing attorney or title company, however your state handles it. So you have a place that you can record this content that makes you look super professional. You can throw a suit on or whatever the case is, but give that office a heads up so that they can coordinate a day and time, and they may even have props that you can use when you create this content. Your end viewer is none the wiser that you literally connected with your title company or closing attorney to use their facility for absolutely free. They've given you great props. They might even be able to give you some tips and strategies on how to convey the information as effectively as possible, and you did it for free 99. Now let's go all the way down to week 3, where you're breaking down the steps of negotiating a real estate deal. Now, this here, if you haven't had a deal, it doesn't mean that you still cannot talk about the steps of how to negotiate a real estate deal. I've done a video on that you're more than welcome to check out, that breaks down how I approach negotiation from a 3-step process. So I'll make sure to link it somewhere on this page. But literally, you can follow this each week, and then once you get to the 4th week on Friday, all you got to do is circle back to the beginning and start over from week 1, and just to put a different tweak on introduction to your real estate expertise. This is literal endless content that you can create off of all of these categories here on a week-to-week basis. I'm just telling you, this blueprint, quote unquote, if I don't get to $1 billion, we're going to get darn close and close business, just because it's laying everything out that the gurus are not telling you, which is why this channel is here for you as a resource. All right, so for those of you that prefer to use phone scripts, okay, I've already baked into this playbook a seller phone script that you can start with and a buyer phone script that you can start with. I'm not going to read it for this particular live video here, but you're more than welcome to go through it and again tweak it to what sounds normal for you. It's pretty generic. I always start my calls when I'm calling sellers. Hey, my name is Marvin with Real Brokerage. I'm your neighborhood realtor. You know why I use the word your neighborhood realtor first and foremost? Because anywhere in the state of Georgia, I'm licensed, so, and South Carolina. So every neighborhood in Georgia, I am your neighborhood realtor. But what that does is it personifies you, and it builds a level of rapport that the person that they're talking to is someone who they can relate to. So I strongly suggest that you stick with the cadence and the way that this script is laid out, because it's just don't deviate from the script. Just follow it here and see how that works for you, and then adjust accordingly if necessary. All right, so, and then the second script here, of course, is a buyer lead phone script, where I'm just basically introducing myself again. If there were someone that had reached out to me interested in the property, it's just me saying, hey, are you still on the house hunt? Just letting them know, no hard sell, no salesiness. I'm just saying, hey, I'm here as a resource if you need me. So these are two great scripts that you literally can follow if you're reaching out to sellers, which would be homeowners, and your potential buyers that you're just trying to stay on top of and make sure if they need to, get pre-approvals done, or they've indicated that they're interested in a certain area. Have they found a home that they want to go look at? All that. It's a conversation starter regardless of which person you're talking to. All right, so for my agent investors here, this is a literal investor calculator that you can utilize if you yourself are interested in making offers on homes. Right now, the market that we're in right now, there is greater opportunity to negotiate, especially if the home is in need of some serious TLC. So this calculator here is a calculator that I copied from a very popular real estate investor. I just kind of tweaked it a little bit to fit real estate agents, but I strongly suggest that you use this calculator. Everything here gives you an idea of what ARV is. For example, ARV, guys and girls listening, is just another word for comps. All right. So if your person says, well, what's the ARV on this property that's completely torn up? Well, the ARV means that once repairs are made, it's after repair value, by the way. But once repairs are made, what is the estimated value of this property? So that is just literally whatever the comps for the neighborhood are for that same year of built, square footage, bedrooms, and bathrooms. All right, and if you do decide to get into the whole wholesaling thing, you'll just want to make sure that your state allows it and that your broker allows it as well. But it gives you, if you want to add your wholesale fee on top of that, all that jazz, it gives you a breakdown here. And then here's another calculator that I added here as well, that's going to be super helpful in that same space. All right, I got it from Jerry Norton here, and then I just tweaked it a bit. All right, so that is pretty much it, y'all. I hope that this video has given you value. You are now out of excuses because you have the blueprint that I am expecting you to follow on a day-to-day basis. It's going to tell you exactly how to track the calls that you're making, how to track the conversations that you're having, how to track the follow-up, how to track the social media content that you're creating, and how to consistently have ideas for social media content. And then for those of you that have a goal to become a real estate investor, it gives you a way to run the numbers to ensure that any offer you're interested in making on a property is a solid offer that builds in your profits as well as your end buyer's profits. So if you got value from this video, please do me a solid, hit the like button. And until the next video, this is your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor, signing off.